Hey guys, Mustang here bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan Battle video. And so yesterday, of course, we had the live stream that revealed the two headliner characters for part 1 of the global Dokkan campaign. And that is, of course, the reversible exchange Blue, Goku and Vegeta, and the reversible exchange Zamasu and Rose Goku Black. Now, I covered in the video yesterday, there's already been a lot of feedback, shall we say, from the community, a lot of memes already with the physical Ulma Gohan. The fact that these guys do not have fusions as a full transformation. The Zamasu, you can see Fusion Zamasu in the background, has an active skill where they fuse into Fusion Zamasu to perform a single attack and then unfuse, which I've already seen people making comments on. Like, obviously we know the other fusions, like especially Goku, like mainly Goku and Vegeta, right, always have a time limit. They always end up unfusing. We often see that happening even in the fight itself. But Fusion Zamasu, like, the whole point was that they couldn't defuse. And of course, you know, the fact that a divine being fusing with the mortal body is what caused the corrupted Zamasu and all that kind of stuff. It is kind of interesting that they have done this in the game, that it's like it's just a one single attack, and then like the next rotation you would go back to just being Zamasu again, which is certainly interesting. But I mean, I said yesterday I'm not hugely disappointed about them not having a fusion, but yeah, Fusion Zamasu is Zamasu's active skill, and then Vegeta Blue is Goku's active skill, but it is just a single attack. I've already seen someone remake the physical Ulma Gohan art, but with like the blue boys stood at the front and then Vegeta Blue on the mountain in the back, because it does give those vibes. It's very different though, I will say, for this release, because it's characters that we do already have. I did see someone point this out, that like the reason why the Beast Gohan situation was so like annoying to a lot of people was obviously the fact that we didn't have a playable Beast Gohan in the game at all yet, and it's like the big thing that people were waiting for. And so when they did the reveal, especially with the way they kind of showed the card arts and everything without showing the proper animations and stuff, a lot of people just assumed that the units were going to be transforming. And then, of course, we did not get a playable Beast, and then Dokkan took their sweet time and ended up basically being the last Dragon Ball game to get a playable Beast Gohan. Whereas, obviously, in Dokkan, we already have multiple Fusion Zamasus and Vegeta Blues, right? So it's not like they're gatekeeping a character that we don't actually have in the game as an active skill. So I can see why people would be a little bit disappointed, but as I said yesterday, it's not a huge deal for me. But obviously let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Now, the big thing for this video, of course, you can see from the title and the thumbnail, is when are the banners coming out? Because this is a thing that I've seen a few different people discussing, and obviously we looked back in the a previous video a while back, we were looking at the various different banner start times across the years for the anniversary. Because remember, this celebration is essentially replacing the worldwide in the overall schedule, but for global players, obviously this celebration is coming when the global anniversary would have been. And in this time slot, even though we know the actual birthday for global, like when it released, was the 7th of July, we've seen in the past multiple times where the celebration starts on the 7th of July, but then the headliner banner doesn't come out until the 8th. And I think there was one year where it was even like the 9th. There was 2 days we had to wait from the start of the celebration. So seemingly that is not going to be the case this time around. So we've got this post here. This is a screenshot from the end of like the trailer that they showed, Global Dokkan Campaign 2025. And the thing that it says down here, there's a zoomed in version, right, for the availability. 2025, 7th of the 7th, up until the 11th of the 8th. So the big thing with this is that this is Japan time. Now, Japan, being as far east on the world map as it is in one of the much further ahead time zones. Because one of the big things for me when having to look out for times of events and stuff being in the UK is if something on Dokkan's release, especially global, they often handle most of their timings in PST, which is Pacific time in the US. So basically that means that if something says like the 6th PST, it usually means it's the morning of the 7th for me in the UK, because PST is like 8 hours ahead of, or behind, I guess, of the UK. Yeah, we're 8 hours ahead of PST. So because this says 7th of the 7th, but this is Japan, Japan is way far to the other side. I think Japan's like Japan time, standard Japan time is I think about 7 hours before UK time. So if something says the 7th, it will obviously be on the 7th for me, because it will be 7 hours previous. And usually I think the reset time for Japan is around like the afternoon. Banner times in the UK time, usually in the time spot that we've seen recently, have been dropping at like 5 AM. So that would obviously be like 12 midday for Japan. And then of course for the US, that would still be technically the evening of the 6th. If you're in PST, or like midnight on going into the 7th if you're on EST. 5 AM is the normal banner time. However, it does seem like there will be a bit of a different time for this one, because we do have, as Minato pointed out with retweeting Proton's thing about the boosts, there's no start time listed for the banners, but keep in mind we have the infinite boosts the same day the banner drops. This is likely around the time the banners will be out in game, if not the exact time. So the boost refresh thing, I didn't actually do a video talking about this, but I know we were talking about it in the Discord and stuff. The boosts are going to refresh your boost for like double runs and everything. Usually takes a good while to recharge. The recharge time is going to be 7 seconds for this. Was it like? It's not quite even 24 hours, but for like a decent period of time on the day that the 7th, on the 7th, when the celebration officially begins, and 1 AM GMT. So we're currently in GMT +1. I always have to remember that when I see Proton's posts. So this is going to be starting at like 2 AM UK time, which is just an hour or two after the reset. Boost every 7 seconds. I mean, even if you play the easiest possible stage, like the the Turtle School stage or something like that, on auto with a boost, like, you're not completing stages in 7 seconds. So this essentially means infinite boosts, because you don't have a chance to like do the stage and get back out of the stage before 7 seconds will have passed. So you essentially have infinite boosts. And because it's going to be for such a limited time, if it was going to be for like a few days, I feel like we couldn't really use this as a gauge for like when the banners are going to come out. But bear in mind, again, like from this timing, so this is 1 AM, going by GMT, up to just before 3 PM, right? So it's only up for like 10 hours. Like, if it's only up for 10 hours on the first day of the celebration, like what would be the point of having these infinite boosts? And obviously one of the things that will be very useful, and I know it's a big meme across the years since boosts have been a thing, people saying not to use them for that or anything like that, but this means that you could, if the banners are dropping at this time, it means you'll be able to use the infinite boosts to farm the medals for the characters, which means you'll be able to awaken your newly summoned characters much faster than you would normally, because you're going to have infinite boosts, right? Normally what I try and do is like the day before a banner's coming out, by the time it gets to like the afternoon, I stop using any of my boosts. So then for me, when it's the next morning and the banner comes out, I have all my boosts already recharged. Because obviously for me, I want to get the unit awakened as quickly as possible, start doing things like the 55% showcase and stuff like that. So I'm happy to use my boosts to get the medals that little bit faster. But with this infinite boosts thing happening on the 7th and only for such a short time window, it makes perfect sense that this is going to be when the banner comes out, because then you can utilize it for that, right? Because it's not like it's Dokkan Day, so like we're, for that short time only for one day, we're having the crazy link level stage. That'd be a great combo, having infinite boost when something like that is out. But yeah, 100% this is the time. It's 1 hour after reset on global and lasts until the reset on JP. So there you go. So the banner should be dropping on the 7th guaranteed, rather than like going over to the next day, which always I think kills the hype in a big celebration. But we can judge by this. If the boost refresh is going to start when the banners come out, that means the banner will be coming out at, this is 2 AM in terms of GMT, like where I am now, because we're in GMT +1. So 3 hours before banners normally come out. So if you're used to, as I'm sure you are if you've been playing for a while, you're used to the time that banners normally come out in your region, this is going to be actually 4 hours before, because in GMT +1 the banners are at 6. So that's what, like, GMT is -5 hours for Eastern time, so it's like 8 p.m. Eastern time, and then what, 5 p.m. Pacific, I think, on the 6th. Although that's interesting, yeah, because GMT's ahead, so the banner, so the 7th 1 a.m. GMT after the reset. That means the banners actually could be coming out on the 6th. That doesn't, I'm intrigued now that I've done the time calculations. I'm a little bit confused about this, because I guess going back to this image that we were looking at with the time, it does say the 7th Japan time, and Japan is so far ahead of the US in terms of their time zone that it very well could be the 6th on American time. So I guess we'll have to wait and see. Now obviously the stream thing is up already. This is the proper full announcement campaign thing where they will show all the card details and all of that stuff. This is July 6th, 3 a.m. UK time. So again, judging by that Proton post and with the timing of the boosts, the infinite boosts thing basically starts like 23 hours after this stream. And this stream is on, for me, very early in the morning on the 6th. So yeah, it all tracks that like the banner will be out very early in the morning on the 7th if you're in the UK European time, later on the day in the 7th if you're in Japan time, and then of course if you're in the US it seems like it's actually going to be the evening of the 6th, which is interesting. That's the one thing that does kind of actually throw me off a little bit here, because I know the big thing is all advertised as the 7th, but that is going by Japan time, so it is still very possible that it comes out late on the 6th if you're in the US. But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. What are your thoughts on all of these things? Do you think this boost thing is specifically timed for the release of the banners? I don't see why it would come out then and only be on for like 10 hours if it wasn't going to be. Well, it's like 12, is it? No, is it 10 hours? 1 a.m. to 3 p.m. Yeah, so actually it's like, what, 14 hours, because it'd be 1 a.m. to 1 p.m. if it was only 12. So yeah, it's on for like 14 hours, which seems like an odd time. Like the banner has to come out sometime in this time frame, because otherwise I don't see the point. What's the point of having the infinite boosts unless there is going to be a special like infinite link leveling stage as part of the campaign that we don't know about? But let me know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Let me know your thoughts on the units. Are you excited to summon? How bothered are you that they're not fusions? I've seen a lot of people in the comment sections that are very disappointed that it's Future Saga. Quite a few people saying that they are just skipping completely. So it'll be interesting to see what we're shown on the live stream. Obviously the full details of the units, but hopefully they'll show off some previews of things like events and stuff as well, and hopefully people will get that hype a little bit more. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Masked Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new, check out the links down below, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.